No more advert breaks. Okay, let's fucking go. Let's go. Go. Alright, Cerise Park. I guess Execute evolved. Oh, Kukui headbutt! You! I love that team! Oh, that was so cute! That was so fucking cute! Best team. Okay, go first is Kiori. Alright, wait. Did Alola really I think that was Treasure Island, you know? What the fuck, yo? Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Entity here, back with a preview breakdown after a year to talk about the brand new preview for the upcoming Pokemon Journey's episode. I'm back. Nice to meet you, Alola. Woo! Let's go! If you're new to this series on this channel, basically every week after a brand new episode of Pokemon airs, we get a preview after the episode has concluded to show us what's in store for next week's episode. Where I then decide to go through every single frame to come up with any theories relating to the scenes on screen and point out any hidden details or references you guys may have missed. Which this Alola preview contained quite a few references despite being only 30 seconds long. In fact, I'm sure when the actual episode airs, I'll be doing another breakdown dedicated to the entire episode. Alola just has me this happy to do this sort of content again. But what did you expect? I'm probably the biggest Sun and Moon stan you'll find on YouTube. Isn't to say I won't do more videos in the future with other episodes though. Just Alola inspired me again. Anyway, putting the obvious aside, if you haven't seen the preview, a link to it will be in the description below, so make sure you watch that before watching this video. However, if you have watched the preview, then let's not waste any more time and jump right into this breakdown. Let's go! So this preview begins off in everybody's favourite region, Kanto, at the Cerise Labs, where an Executor appears with some blue light surrounding it, with Go then proceeding to hug it. Which I think all of us can easily figure out that this must mean Go's Execute he caught back in episode 21, aka the Riolu episode, has evolved. But what some of you may have not figured out is why they would show such a thing in this episode, the Alola episode. But to me, it's clear that the writers decided to do this just so Go can learn about Alolan regional variants, which Executor has one. I believe Go would learn this from Ash instead of Cerise as well, in my opinion, as I believe Ash would remark that he hasn't seen a Cantonian Executor in a while due to living in Alola with its regional variant always appearing at the Pokemon School. Which of course, thanks to the Alola League, we learned that Executor that appeared in those episodes actually belongs to the principal, Samsung Oak. Not only that though, but I believe Ash would then start to reminisce about his time in Alola because of how important it was in his journey, thinking of his adventures, and most importantly, his Alolan family and friends, deciding that he wants to go back there temporarily to reunite with them all. Side note, I haven't watched the recent episode yet, but if Ash is still feeling a bit down, then I suppose he also decided to go back to Alola to cheer himself up. Yes, there's many companions Ash could go out and reunite with again, but again, Alola means so much to him. It's his second home for crying out loud. He learned so many lessons about life due to taking it easy for once, and even because of that, became the champion of Alola. It actually mind boggles me that some people still don't understand this. But hey, then again, who's always find a reason to be mad? Who's mad? But yeah, there's that. In short though, what I'm basically trying to say is, Stan Go's Executor! He's the reason we're going back to Alola, baby! Woo! Fuck Rabu, fuck Sobble, you're the best Gomon! Hey! Moving on to the next scene though, we then witness Ash reuniting with his Alolan father figure, Kukui even giving him the signature pat on the head. My fucking heart, bro. Yeah, if you didn't know, in a lot of scenes of the Sun and Moon anime, Kukui gives Ash a pat on the head as a way to show he cares about his adoptive son, and even after the Alola League, how proud he is of him. And, bro, I know I've said this so many times on this channel and on Twitter, however, this relationship is one of the greatest elements from the Sun and Moon anime. I adore it so much. Back in the day, I may have wanted the anime to show Ash's real dad, but because of the strong bond these two characters hold as a father figure and son, I don't need that anymore. This relationship is absolutely perfect. Bringing Ash's real dad now would just ruin this a little bit. And yeah, Ash may like his real father as he's expressed, but he's been out of Ash's eyes for most of Ash's life. Having a father figure like Kukui step in to give Ash something he hasn't experienced in a long time is just such a nice substitute. And again, the bond they just have overall is... it's stunning. Anyhow, getting back to the preview though, if you pay attention to the background, it's actually a location we've seen before, even if you can't recognize it, and that's because it comes from the very first Sun and Moon episode. It is the Alola Airport, meaning Kukui must be picking up Ash here to take him back to his Alolan home. And bruh, I'm not gonna lie, that took me a while to figure out, because I was like, I swear we've seen this background before, so I was just going through my like 80GB screenshot folder from the Sun and Moon anime, and it was in episode 1 all along. I eventually got there after half an hour. I was that persistent of trying to find it. Speaking of Alolan home though, in the next scene of this preview, we get reunited with Ash's Alola team! Hey! My personal favorite team, the team with so much personality, the team that won Ash the League, and in my opinion, the strongest of all the teams as well. Which is a future video, stay tuned. But yeah, this is such a beautiful shot. I'm probably gonna be the thumbnail I use for this video as well, with the title being something like, Ash's Alola team returns. It is definitely the most hype part of the preview as well in my opinion. That aside though, yeah, it's clear that this scene here is meant to be after Ash reunites with Kukui. Him of course going back to his old home to say hello to the Monty Court and even Burnett, his Alolan mom. And no, Burnett here is not a fairy. In the voice cast for this episode, her voice actress actually appears. Not that I was worried that she wouldn't appear anyway, as she's a part of Ash's Alolan family. In fact, a lot of people before this preview and summary got released were scared we wouldn't even see Kukui, Burnett and the Alolamons. Only the Alola gang. Which to that I say, why? This is Ash's Alolan family for God's sake. He would not avoid them. And if the writers did choose to do that, Ash would just look like a dickhead. Which he definitely isn't. He's a wholesome boy. Again, I just feel like some people miss Sun and Moon's very obvious themes here. Most likely because they didn't watch every single episode though, cause the art style isn't XY! Speaking of art style though actually, I just quickly want to mention that all the characters that appear in this preview look so beautiful in the Journey's art style, man. Which is to be expected though, as it is legit just the Sun and Moon art style, but more refined. If you cannot tell what I mean though, just focus on these two screenshots real quick. Sun and Moon has more round edges and narrow eye proportions, while Journey's here has spiky edges and wider eye proportions. I do adore the Sun and Moon art style, especially because it's allowed the anime to have some of the most fluid movement ever, and I mean I just did make a joke about people complaining about it. But Journey's here just looks so much stunning than ever before. Pushing the art style aside though, let's talk about Burnett again. In the final Sun and Moon episode, it was revealed that Burnett got it on with Kukui while Ash was out of the house and got pregnant. So the question everybody has is, will we see the baby be born or will she still be pregnant? And to that, I personally say that I think she will still be pregnant, as if the baby was born and Ash is still 10 years old, there's some serious time issues being presented. I mean, not that it's happened before. For instance, we've seen Ash state multiple times that leaks are a couple months away, and when you add them all together, it takes up like 3 years of time. But I feel like the anime would at least keep the logic for pregnancy here, while they know Ash is 10 forever. Meaning, Burnett would also be pregnant forever as well. I feel sorry for her. Regardless of whatever outcome though, I cannot wait to see Ash's reaction to finding out he will have an Alolan brother or sister. Something we've never seen in the anime before, much like the wedding. Alola continues to break trends to make beautiful moments. Enough of the Alolan family, let's now talk about the other group of people who hold a lot of significance in Ash's life. What? Alola gang! who appear within the next scene in the preview in the Pokemon school, which I'm gonna assume after Ash reunites with his Alolan family and his Mons, he will go to school alongside Kukui to reunite with these guys, which will be another tear-jerking moment. If you pay close attention to Go in this shot though, he has a somewhat anxious smile while around the Alola gang, and that is because the summary for this episode revealed that Go is actually nervous to meet all of these people who mean a lot to Ash. Which I gotta say, I commend the Journey's writers for this plot point. Why? Because as we've seen so far, Go before meeting Ash and catching his own plethora of Mons doesn't have much friends. He spent most of his childhood on his computer researching Pokemon, and somebody he thought he could call a friend ended up backstabbing him. At least he thought in the moment. Of course, he soon learned it was a misunderstanding. So now to Ash suddenly get Go to introduce himself to his other friends would indeed make him feel awkward due to that lack of social interaction. Probably even having more anxious thoughts that they won't even like him or something like that. But of course, that would be wrong though, as, come on, these guys are the most bubbly, lovable gang around. Him realizing that eventually too. But you can't really blame him, and I'm sure many people out there can relate to Go's struggle for this episode too. I sure as hell know how he feels. I used to be the same way before meeting the Anime-Poke bros and many other people. And you know what? I find it very fitting that this theme is being explored in Alola as well. You know, the region that began the slice of life elements for the anime. And, of course, you know, the Alola gang are the first companions returning, so naturally in terms of the universe, it makes sense. It would have happened if Misty or Brock returned, for example. But luckily, it's been used with the Alola gang here, as I'm sure we can all agree we want to wait a little bit before seeing these two people again. It was very obvious to me the Alola gang would return first though, because of all the reasons I've stated in the past. Side note though, I do quickly want to mention that the summary for this episode also listed Lily's and Gladion's voice actors, yet they don't appear in any of the shots with the Alola gang. So why they are listed in this summary in my opinion is because, even though I hate to say it as a Lily stan, we'll get a flashback of the gang and how great Lily is, but she's missing because she's still on a search for her father Morn with her brother Gladion. However, there's no need to worry though. I feel like we will 100% reunite with Lily one day as well. Maybe potentially get to see the Morn reunion on screen as well, which I would fucking adore, as I know it will emotionally hurt me in a beautiful way due to loving this Aether family so much. In fact, I'm confident the writers would show this on screen. They know many of us are invested in these characters and plot. They can't just keep it ended abruptly. Soon, we should hopefully see Lily try and find a goal as well. But bro, imagine if Chloe and Lily bond over such a thing. That would be extraordinary writing due to the intertwining in my opinion. Lily's still gonna be the best skill though. And, oh, go on then. For old time's sake, Lily is cute. Oh yeah, Rotom's also confirmed to appear within this episode. Just thought I'll let you know. I don't hate him, I just forgot. So, I'm just gonna assume that he's got word of Ash returning to Alola and decided to take a day off working at Aether Paradise. Anyway, moving on to the next scene, it looks like things don't get much better for Go at the moment, as he ends up having a battle against Kiawe. Kiawe, as stated in the summary, saying he wants to make sure he is a fitting rival for Ash, despite Go not seeing Ash as a rival. Go even said something along those lines in the special preview we got a month ago. But it looks like Kiawe won't be listening until the very end of the battle here. Or if he actually does end up listening, he still wants to battle for fun anyway, as of course his goal relates to battles, wanting to become a kahuna. Poor Go though. But again, he will eventually start to feel comfortable around the Alola gang towards the end of the episode. That's very obvious, giving him that nice character development. But yeah, regardless of the development, we've actually known about this battle revelation for a week now, if you didn't know. We ended up getting magazine scans about this. And how I personally feel about this battle? I find it extremely cool. Not only because of why Kiawe wants to battle Go in the first place, but because this battle would definitely be Go's introduction and our reintroduction to Z moves. I can definitely see Kiawe absolutely obliterating Go's Raboot with Inferno Overdrive, due to him being one of the most significant Z move users in Alola. And come on, Go has very little battle experience compared to this guy who is aiming to become a kahuna and place top 4 in the Alola League. The only way I can see Go theoretically winning is if this is the episode where Raboot evolves into the Cinderace that got spoiled in the opening. So do many other people, in fact. However, I personally doubt this will actually happen in this episode, as the writers will know this would be a disservice to Kiyoi's development, acting as pure plot armor on Go's side. If it does happen though, then I would be furious because of what I said there. But again, I'm confident it won't happen. It will happen in some kind of other episode. But yeah, like I said, I do like the looks of this battle because of Kiyoi's ambition, and because this will be the reintroduction to Z moves. Go probably asking all the Alola gang why they have wristbands around them before this battle as well, wanting to witness this such big power for himself upon learning. But yo, if you've paid attention so far to everything I've been saying, every scene in this preview so far has introduced every single major Alola element in only one episode. That's insane. Nor does it look rushed to me at the moment. But of course, we'll have to wait for the actual episode to find out what really happens. To those scared at the moment though that this could be rushed, I just want to say that I feel like the battle portion of this episode, despite being the most heavily advertised element, will happen 15 minutes into the episode, because of all the reunions we see here, them getting the screen time they deserve. Just bear in mind that the reason why the battle is getting advertised is because the advertising team believe this is what will get people the most hyped for the episode, to get them to watch and give them the ratings. Which I disagree the battle is the most hype element, but I mean look at the most recent Pikachu episode for example. They advertised the 1 minute bait of Pikachu quote unquote evolving. Diving into the next scene, we see Lana fishing up a silhouette of a character. If you couldn't tell though, they share the same exact proportions of girl, so obviously this is our boy. What I believe to be happening here though, is that on the way to the Pokemon school, Go ends up trying to catch some new Pokemon, one including the Pukumuku we see from the special preview a month ago. Because, you know, Go wants to try and complete his Pokedex. However, the Pukumuku ends up causing him some trouble and then retreats to the sea, where Go then ends up comedically running after it into the sea, but then accidentally gets hooked by Lana, which is how we will get introduced to Lana in this episode, while the rest of the characters will be found at the Pokemon school first. Or, because of a lack of Go during the Alola family reunion scenes, he could be trying to catch some Pokemon by himself, before he then meets back up with Ash at Kukui's house to go to the Pokemon school, with Lana following behind him. You know, this being a sort of similar situation to the Karina episode, where Go was hanging around with Gherkin when Ash was reuniting with Karina. But yo, I just want to say as well that this scene right here really reminds me of how Ash first met Lana. He was exploring the sea while Lana was fishing. Sure, she doesn't fish him up, but it's still somewhat a similar situation. If it was intentional on the writer's part, if my theory was correct as well, then that's a very nice callback. I dig that so much. Speaking of callbacks actually, I forgot to say this earlier on. Kiyoi being apprehensive of Go at first is exactly what happened to Ash in the first episode of Sun and Moon as well, which is just fantastic to think about. I dig all these callbacks in the preview here. Now you can see why this video is so long as well. But although I want to continue gushing about Alola, we unfortunately now have come to our last scene in the preview, which is simply just an Alolan Executor bending its neck. But if you pay close attention to the background, it's actually a location we've all seen before. Treasure Island from episode 20 and episode 102. The island where Ash discovered how much he loves Alola and his culture, and where he went to spend some fun with Misty when she arrived in Alola. Which, because of that Misty point, I wouldn't be surprised if Ash also took Go here for the same reason. I mean, how else would Go find out about this island? In fact, this could actually be how we see the Alolan Executor firstly, instead of what I said earlier with Samsung Oak's Pokemon School one. But I feel like it could end up being both, to be honest, as again, the Executor at the school is always there vibing. In fact, what if this happened? Go learns about the Executor at the school, asks the Alola gang where he can find one so he can catch one for himself, and that's when they then remember Treasure Island and all decide to go there so he can catch his Pokemon and have some fun as well. This being all towards the end of the episode though, as of course we have to see that Kiori battle first, which the background had the Pokemon school location. So, in terms of continuity within the preview, I feel like the scenes will go exactly like this. The Cerise Labs, Ash reuniting with Kukui, Go meeting Lana, Ash reuniting with his Mons, Ash reuniting with the Alola gang, Go versus Kiori, and then Treasure Island to end it all off. As always when it comes to these preview breakdowns though, these are just theories. I could end up being wrong. However, as of now, I am confident in my theories and I cannot wait to watch this episode live. I love Alola so fucking much. You have no idea. However, let me know in the comments down below what you guys personally think of this preview though. I'd love to hear. We're all entitled to our own opinions. Unfortunately though, that concludes it for this video. This was hella fun to discuss though, oh my god. You better not miss my reaction next week. And just a heads up, make sure you turn down the volume for that one as there probably will be a lot of screaming, let's be real. It's good to be back. If you enjoyed this breakdown, then as always, please be sure to consider leaving a like, a share, and if you're new here, subscribe along with that bell icon to stay in loop with all things Pokemon anime related. Thank you for watching everybody, this is Entity Maze, signing out.